musicality? For me, musicality is the ability you have to powerfully deliver a message to your audience. For me, musicality is very closely related to technique. One cannot happen without another, because if you think about it, you cannot dance beautifully without feet, right? You have to get rid of two of your left feet in order to dance like a swan. Same for a piano or any other instrument. You have to have hands in order to be able to play good music. So musicality is definitely built on technique. Technique cannot be overlooked when it comes to music, okay? But technique itself isn't, good enough, because you can execute things perfectly on the piano, right? And it's gonna sound right, it's gonna sound clean, it's gonna sound good, but it's gonna lack that musicality. It's gonna lack that emotional effect the music needs in order to reach your audience. Last, we're gonna look at an example of good musicality versus bad musicality. And that's a very controversial subject. It's to feel or not to feel. And what does it mean to feel, right? So one time I went to this masterclass. I wasn't one playing, I was just sitting in the audience. And when a few kids finished playing, the teacher jumped on stage, just basically butchered them as a whole. In general, I remember his words were, "Feelings, you guys are not feeling this. I want more feelings. Play from your feelings," and blah, 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 and all that. And I felt really, really bad. And I was just sitting there really dumbfounded at the time. Later, I put a lot of thoughts into this subject throughout my career and my life. What are feelings? How do we teach people to feel? For me, feelings is a very personal thing. Feelings is within you. What you're gonna feel isn't what others are gonna feel. We cannot force any sort of feelings onto ourselves and onto others, and certainly not onto our music, because the composer, most likely he's dead or she's dead, right? Whoops. But they're not here to tell us how to feel their music. We can only do our best to study enough and have enough knowledge to give the music what it really needs, based on what the composer wants, based on their literature. It isn't gonna be based on how you're feeling about anything. Like I said, feeling is very overrated and it's very personal. So for me, the best thing that we can deal with this inner feelings or how to project this emotional effect onto audience is what I said earlier. It's really to have enough knowledge of the music, that have enough abilities so you can powerfully translate that message to your audience. The feelings that you deliver is the feelings you have to make your audience feel. Make them feel. You as an artist, you're just at the service of music. You're just doing what the music needs to respect it, to translate it, and to share it. The most important aspect in piano playing or any instrument playing, I think, would be phrasing. And phrasing is a very broad term. It's a very generalized term. What is phrasing? To everybody, that says something different. Do we absolutely have to always increase and always taper? Do we absolutely have to have that curved shape each time? It's a very personal preference. But to me, phrasing is just about how you want to say something. It's the way that you want to say it, speak it, voice it. However that you want to say it and that makes sense to you, that music will make the most sense. Another way that I do phrasing is in each thick texturized passages, slow passages, I find the melody. Obviously, that's the obvious one, right? The melody goes. And then I find the counter melody. I don't know where the counter melody is. Sometimes it's at the bottom. You know, sometimes it's in the middle, like in all this. You see that? And I play with these voices. I play with them until something works. And also remember, something that you can play well is always something that you can connect with. So be sure to study that composer, his life, the time period when he wrote the music, what he is going through in his life, and all of those things are going to give you the perspective and the background of this